growth, customers acquisition, and retention. And give it up for Clara.
No, wait. Okay. Hi, how are you? Do you have something to slide? Okay. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Thank you very much to all the team of Mentin Lab. And thank you because you could be in a different place, but you're still being here. Actually, you can leave wherever you prefer. But if you leave, remember that outside is raining. It's cold. You will get wet. This is my value proposition. So, hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about customer acquisition and rotation. But first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Clara Avila. I'm working as a marketing manager for GoDaddy, but I have been working for more than 10 years in digital departments, trying to help different brands to reach a digital awareness, something that is very important because most of the startups start from scratch and they don't have like a branding or a reference for the rest of the people. And also trying to help them to reach their goals. Because this is very important. We are just not on digital because we have to be there. We have to. But also, we want to be there because digital environments are going to help us a lot to reach our goals. I'm a mix between product, marketing, and content. This is not very common. I'm a freak, I know. And I love to talk about content. I love how the content mixes to the marketing strategies and how the product is involved on that relation, because when we mix three of these issues, we're able to reach better results. I love writing. I have a blog. It's in Spanish, unfortunately, and a book also talking about digital content. And even I was born in Barcelona. I live in Madrid. My mother tongue is Spanish. So I want to apologize for my lack of English. I will do my best, but please be nice with me. Go easy. Because I'm here to make you save time and money. How does it sound? How many of you have a startup, working in a startup? Please raise your hands. Okay, most of you. How many of you have enough resources? Oh, yeah, I know. That happens a lot. Yeah, that's the problem. I have been working also in an NGO, and now I'm working in GoDaddy Spain, very close to the Pinterest office. Sometimes I hug them. Hi, hello. Remember, if you want me to be your personal spy, I can do it. No, well, most of the digital companies, most of the startups that are working nowadays, they don't have enough resources. They don't have a big team of marketing. If you're lucky, you have one person that can help you to manage what you have on digital environments. Maybe you have one community content peer person, something like that. Maybe they also manage paid media. But what is important is that we have some strategies that we can use to spend less time. I'm talking about marketing automatization, and also to spend less money. And that's very important. This is why I'm going to talk about customer acquisition and retention in digital. Well, I don't want to be so overpromised to you. Let's be serious. But there is something that it happens a lot of time. Maybe it's not happening to you, but it happens a lot of time. When you start a company, when you start a business, when you're working on a startup, someone, maybe a guru, something like that, tells you, you have to open a website. And you do that. And then they say, you need to be in all the social media platforms. And of course, you need to create the best content. And you need to post it every day, in every platform, at every hour, and your mind's blown. Why? Because you don't get expected results. being on digital is not just having a website and being on social media. It's being able to understand the relation that we have between the goals that I have and all the channels that I can be using. So what happens? Maybe you have started losing some of the reach that you have on social media. Is that okay for you? Is something that is happening? Maybe you have a Facebook page and you started posting every day, every hour, every whatever, and at the end, your reach is going down. Also, even if you're creating great creatives, even if you're the genius of the creativity and you're posting it on Facebook, maybe it's not working for you. You spend a lot of money, that means time, effort, even money, driving traffic to the website. But what happens? That not all the people that is landing on your website is ready for buying your product. This is why a long time ago, I started thinking about the content, how content can be the invisible line that can help us to draw a new content strategy. So when you want to create a content strategy, you need to ask yourself 3 questions. Just 3 questions. It's not so difficult. The first one, what is your goal? What do you want? The second one, target. Who are you talking to? Who is the person that is in the other side? Who is the person who is going to buy your product? And content. What are you talking about? Let's go through these 3 questions all together. If we talk about the goal, there is a model that it really helps me a lot. Maybe you have seen it before, and I'm going to explain you a bad example and a good example of how to use it. This is the inbound marketing funnel. It's made, well, for a lot of companies, but HubSpot is one of the most important. And what do they say? When we talk about the goals that a company may have, we always think about the traditional customer journey. So the traditional customer journey say, first of all, you need to raise awareness because no one knows you. It is what it is. Then you need to have more consideration so the people can trust you, can choose you. Then you will talk about conversion. And at the end, you will talk about loyalty. Is that okay for you? Do you know this kind of customer journey, the traditional one? I studied it 10 years ago at university. Now things are pretty different because on digital environments, we can't follow the exactly customer journey. And the customer journey that we try to follow is something more similar than this one. Maybe you need to adapt some of the things for your special business case, but most of the companies can use this kind of model. So first of all, we want to have strangers that can be attracted into visitors. And the visitors, although we want to convert them to customers, it's not so easy because when you go to a website for the first time, you don't buy their products. So this is why we are going to sell a product in 2 different steps. So the first one is to make a visitor convert into a lead, and the second one is to convert a lead to close it into a customer. So by the end, it will be easier to sell something. Imagine that you are dating someone, and in the first date you say, do you want to marry me? Oh, it's crazy. But if you are having several dates, at the end of the month, you can ask no. So then, at the end, when you have a customer, you want to delight them, to be in love with them, so they can be promoters. Make sense for you? Okay, what is different in this situation is that we're going to use the different channels for the different goals. So we are not going to use social media for everything. We are not going to use the blog for everything. We are not going to use our newsletter for everything. We are going to adapt the channel to the goal that we have. So for example, if we have a stranger and we want to attract them into visitors, we are going to use the blog because someone is going to look for you on Google. Also, you can use social media, special landing pages that can help you to be on Google also. And as long as you have a visitor you will convert it into a lead using your website, giving them a reason to give their address. So, for example, a contest, a discount, a lead magnet. You have a lot of occasions to ask someone for the lead, and they will be delighted to give it to you. Well, maybe not delighted, but you can try. And all the leads we want to convert into customers, mostly using email marketing. This is when we are going to save money and time. And at the end, social media comes again to make our customers to be promoters. I'm going to give you the first example. First of all, I want to confess something. I'm a foodie. I love eating. I go to the gym. But I love eating. And my husband eats less than me. This is a problem. Okay, so I love eating, and I love going to restaurants, but I love cooking. And what I prefer to cook is slow cooking. I know, I'm a freak, it's okay. So last Black Friday, not this year, last year, we were thinking about buying something for slow cooking at home. So I was, first of all, looking on Google, as you can see, and I searched for slow cooking. As you can see, you have different gadgets here, different videos, and different websites. This is a real situation. So first of all, I didn't know which kind of gadget would I prefer. So I started reading. I started being inspired. So I went to El Cocinillas and El Comidista, that are two main pages in Spain, to learn about which kind of slow cookie can I make at my home. And I make my decision, and I decided to buy an Anova. That is a brand, a very popular brand. So then I look on Google for Anova. As you can see, they were paying for the result, they were paying for the result, but the rest of the content was about a KPI of an statistic measure. They have the same name in Spanish, a brand and a KPI. Oh, you're fucked, yeah. So I wanted to go to the website, and I click on the ad. They're paying for the traffic. And when I went, I just saw a discount for Black Friday that is not here, that it was, and nothing else, just information. The cost of this product is close to 100 euros. Do you think that I'm going to the website and buy it the first time that I'm going to that website? No, of course I didn't. I need to call to my husband, I need to persuade him, I need to ignore him, I need to buy it, but it takes time. So they are paying for the traffic, and they are losing all the information. So I just started going to different newspapers, and as you can see, I was showing some remarketing, and also on Instagram, and I saw more remarketing. And at the end, I ignored to my husband, and I click on the ad, and I bought the final product. My question is, why you pay 2 times when you can just pay 1 time? This is why this funnel that I show you is going to be very helpful for you. And I'm going to show you this on a different example from GoDaddy, and how can we manage the customer acquisition and the customer retention in terms of saving time and money. So the first step is attract. I want to attract someone that maybe don't know anything about GoDaddy. They don't know that we are selling websites. They don't know anything about domains. They don't know who I am. But it doesn't matter, because they are looking on Google for how can I build my own website of crafts, of do-yourself products. Okay, so if you come here, you will find GoDaddy as one of the main results. And if you go there, you will find the example of a website, of a real shop that is called City Cris, that is from Barcelona, and they're buying lovely dishes that they made themselves, And very lovely. So they made the website with GoDaddy, and we record the video, and we explain all the story about them. And as you can see, here you have products with a relation. So if you click on any of those buttons, you will go to a special landing page. When we say a brilliant website is just the beginning, you can start for free. And if you decide to start for free, you will have the option to create an account for free. No credit card, for real. And actually, we change this content from time to time so we can test different things. Now we are testing build your own website in less than an hour, because you can do it. I'm not lying. But if I try to understand what is important for the user, maybe a person who needs to buy their own website for the first time, what is important to them is I don't know anything about technology and I don't have enough time. So I need the website as soon as possible. This is how the lead generation can help you to save money. Because in a state of just having one person driving to the website and being here comparing the prices, I'm saying start for free. This kind of strategy is not new. I mean, Netflix is doing it all the time, and a lot of companies, they do, and it's very helpful. If you don't want to ask for the lead, giving the free first month for free, maybe you can give anything else, like a discount, like a subscribe yourself, like a contest, or whatever you prefer. Maybe you're asking them for like a little quiz, and at the end, if they want to be the final answer, they need to give you the lead. But you already have the lead. You are not going to pay anymore. Of course, I recommend you to use remarketing, but if you have their emails, it's going to be cheaper. Why? Because if you want to close them into real clients, you can be in contact with them using email marketing. That, first of all, you can optimize. You can make a campaign that runs without you doing anything. And also, because you are not going to pay anymore. Email marketing is cost efficiently. It's going to cost you less money than the rest of the channels. Also, if you're talking about paying to Facebook or whatever. So first of all, we say, hello, welcome. If you have any doubt, this is your number of clients. Start using your products, whatever you want. And when your free period is ending, we are going to send you several emails. More than you think. But don't lose your website, continue working it, etc. We give some stories of different clients, and that's how we want them to make it more efficiently. Actually, one of the new things that we are trying to do is to those clients, call them. Because we are talking about digital environments, but when we are able to be omni-channel, we have been talking about lately, but when we are able to be omni-channel, you will see that your results is going to improve more than ever. And then, as soon as you have a client, you need to keep that client as more as possible, because it's going to be the cheapest invest that you will do. Customer acquisition is very expensive. Customer retention is not so expensive if you are able to do it properly. How can you do it? For example, we send every month a newsletter where we want to be with them. I'm not trying to sell anything else. I just want to be with you. I want to make your business grow. Because if you have a better business, I will have more clients. And also, for example, we have webinars. Webinars are very useful. It's one way to be with your clients, to make them grow. What do you think about that? Yeah? It's one way to save money and time, but it's not the only question that we need to ask to ourselves. Because then when you know what is your goal, you need to know who are you talking to. I'm not going to explain a lot of things about targeting, because one of the most important tools that you can use, and for sure you already know, is the buyer persona. If we talk with a design team, they will call it UX persona. It's quite similar. They have some difference. In marketing, they invent what they want to say, and in product design, they invest what they want, they research, which is the person. But anyway, the marketing persona is a sketch of a key segment of your audience. And it's something like that. It's like a profile that you make from all of them, and you know what is the bio, what are the goals, the frustration, the brands, the elevator pitch that they have. And there is something useful to know who are we talking to. Why is it important? Because maybe sometimes we have two different products. Imagine that you are running a university. For sure, you will have a student, a potential student, maybe in 2 years or maybe next year. But you will have their parents, and you can be so buddy with them, and you can be very seriously. So you need to find your voice regarding the public that you have. And also, because for each target that you have, the topics will be different. Here you have two different newsletters from GoDaddy. The first one is for small and medium business, and the other one is for developers, for pro users, as we call them. And as you can see, some of the content is quite different. In the first one, we are talking about budget, about return of invest, about productivity. But in the other one, we are talking about design portfolio, lead generation, WordPress, things like that. This different content is very useful. Actually, I can say that when we are starting using this type of newsletter with a more accurate content for each target, we are having better results. We are having, I don't know, a double open rate, things like that, because we are sending the correct content to the correct person. Regarding the content, which kind of content should I be using to my customers? Well, for me, it's as simple as that. We need to find which kind of content is interesting for the user and which kind of content is good for your goals. And in the mix of both of them, you will find the relevant content. I'm going to give you an example. You know that we are talking about climate weather, and we have this big meeting in Madrid? Yeah? Okay. Do you remember the last one was in France? In Paris? Okay. How many of you likes Game of Thrones? Okay. I don't, but don't worry.
Their skin is as white as the moon, and their eyes are like blue stars. They reanimate the dead and drag them into their sinister fury. Beyond the wall, they're marching onto the Seven Kingdoms. Soon, in Westeros.
I did it. No, I don't. I wanted, but no. Okay. You know what happens? That was made for the French conference that happened a long time ago. What happens? No one cares about climate change. Maybe you do. But this is not the most common conversation that you will have on the bus or on the underground or wherever. You don't talk to your family about, oh, have you seen? The weather is changing. No one cares about that. So climate change is not interesting for the user, but it's good for my goals, isn't it? If I'm Greenpeace. This is why they find something interesting for the user, Game of Thrones, and they made this relevant content. Do you think that you can do it? For your brand, for your startup? It's difficult. I know. I work on GoDaddy, and as you know, we sell hosting, website builder, domains, productivity solutions. Ooh, how sexy. Give me more about that. I'm looking forward to read this kind of content every day. It's a very, I don't know, dark environment. All the technological startups have more or less the same problem. You can't be talking all the time about your products because it's not so important for that. No one cares about you. So how can we build or how can we create relevant content? This is my little boy. It's my Instagram profile for GoDaddy. We started a couple of months ago. And what we are doing is to make interview to our clients. So instead of talking about my product, I'm talking about entrepreneurs. That is quite more interesting. And of course, I'm talking about my products because at the end of everything I say, if you want, you can look for the website. And the website was made by GoDaddy, using our technology, blah, 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 blah. But you can find high-quality pictures because the quality of content is important, is relevant. You need to take care about it. Good stories, very good stories. We spend a lot of time, and of course, as you can see, good content. So, for example, this one, Ana Aboli is an entrepreneur. She has their own company. It's called Confetti en los Bolsillos, and they made cookies, branded cookies, for birthdays, for companies, for whatever. And she has a website with GoDaddy. But I have a lot of them. This woman, Paloma, they sell stones, magic stones. It's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, this is a traditional bar that has been, it was the first bar in Madrid that started selling hot dogs. Long time ago, and they're trying to be more close to young people, and they build a website, things like that. And these guys are starting buying their products in Barcelona, and they are making the first plant-based alternative for tuna, for sushi. You will have sushi, vegan sushi in less time than you think. And they build a website with GoDaddy. But I'm not just talking about GoDaddy because no one cares about that. I'm talking about something that can be relevant for the user and interesting for the user and good for my goals. So just for finish this speak, remember, content is king, but distribution is queen, and see where spans. This is not my sentence. It's from the VP of BuzzFeed, but it's very important because as you know, you need a website, you need to be on social media, you need to do a lot of things, but please, try to think in all the funnel, trying to think in all the channels, in what goal I have in each moment, and which kind of content should I be creating for each channel. So always think in that funnel. Ask to yourself these 3 questions. What is my goal? I'm just trying to drive traffic and trying to convert it. Who is my target and what kind of content I'm going to create so I can be more interesting for the users. And please don't forget about retention. So thank you very much. I'm going to give you some time for question and answer. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Any questions? Anybody, if you have a question, please raise your hand because we can't really see from here. Ah, there's one there. Let me bring the mic.
Thank you. I thought that it was so clear, or maybe no one understand me anything, not a word.
I think everybody understood. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Tamara. Great speech.
Thank you, Tamara.
I would like to know what content or what type of content do you prefer, or more what type of content is more relevant for more attractive for the users? For example, video or images or storytelling,
Mhm.
or for example, live video.
Mhm.
Uh, what is your opinion or experience?
Yeah. Okay. It depends on on the on the channel that you are going to use. So, for example, for me, live video is not working as good as it has been working for a lot of time. So now when we try to make webinars and we launch like a public URL and we are starting to wait until we have more people connected, it's not working very well for me. But if you look at some influencer, they're using live video and it's working quite well. Maybe it depends on the engagement that you have. For me, storytelling is something that is working quite well, of course, depending on your goal. I'm talking about engagement. If I post a link to the blog on Facebook and I promote it, if I have a good story and a good picture behind it, it's going to work better than some other contents, at least for me. But for example, I'm not going to have a lot of SEO results, a lot of organic traffic to this kind of content. So if I want to have organic traffic, I need to focus on the keywords that I have from my company, talking about social media, talking about business, talking about this kind of stuff. So if you remember the whole funnel that I said, if you want to drive more traffic to your website, I recommend you to start using your blog. And in social media, use instant experience, because for us it's something that is working quite well. Try videos of less than 50 minutes and try good pictures with a narrative. If you want to convert, use all on your website, use all the UX experience and try to drive the user into your lead magnet. And then if you want to use email marketing, the content that is going to work better is a mix between different goals. If you just go to convert, it's not going to work. But if you give them some information and then you try to convert, it's going to work better. I don't know if I'm answering to your question. Great. Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, there is one there. I think I know that gentleman as well. Here's the microphone, Mr. Vitas.
Hi, Clara. My name is Vitas. Thank you for the presentation. And actually, I have to say that I'm very admiring and very impressed of GoDaddy's branding, all the presentation, the angle of you chose by starting like stories about small business, etc. So I'll try to formulate my question as best as I can, but I was thinking while we're talking about the funnel, content marketing funnel, and customers, I was thinking about affiliates, because in an affiliate world, hosting is like hosting and SaaS products are possibly the best converting or the most famous, let's say, products or services for affiliates. And my question is, in a funnel or in a framework that you mentioned about the content addressing for the users on our time, etc., how affiliates fits in this context? Because they are a huge channel, and according like a GJ affiliate, where you have a platform for affiliates, you're quite doing well in Latin America, Spanish-speaking countries, in almost an example for Bluehost, which is like a high, I guess, like strong competitor.
Yep.
So long story short, how affiliates fits in this context when you said about content framework?
Yeah, I don't talk too much about affiliates because it's not so content relation in terms to my brand, but it's one of the most important source of new clients, and it is what it is. They're working very well. So they have like a parallel funnel, and they work with half strangers into visitors, and then they jump into our funnel in terms of client acquisition in the last part of the funnel. We don't work with lead generation because most of the affiliates, they offer hosting domains, and we don't have this lead generation campaign for hosting and affiliates. We just have them for Website Plus Marketing. That is one of our products. So affiliates is a very important channel for us. It gives us a lot of new customers, and they have like a parallel funnel, and they jump into conversion to our funnel. You're welcome.
All right. Any more questions?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
we
that-
have another question there.
Well,
I'm
thank you
coming
very
in-
much.
I'm coming in a second
Please.
with the microphone.
You can continue.
I hope it's a short question. Here we go.
I'm Chris, thank you for the talk. I have a question. You mentioned once something very uncool. You said you picked up the phone, and normally no one wants to pick up the phone, it's all digital. Do you think picking up the phone at one stage of the sales cycle will be always important, human-to-human interaction, so you believe in that will continue forever?
Telemarketing?
No, that you use really picking up the phone, talking to the people on the phone. Because a lot of people try to avoid it. They want to do everything 100% online, everything digital. But I think still, I'm from the old generation. Picking up the phone, I believe the human and human interaction will be at some stages of a sales cycle. If you have not a low budget product, if you have a higher budget product, will be important for loyalty to stay in contact with a client, because you said you pick up the phone from time to time to stay in contact with the client.
Yeah, I really think that we are very digital, but the rest of the world is not so digital as we are. I mean, I don't know if I'm understanding you correctly. Please, if I don't, let me know. But there are a lot of people that they don't know how to use their own inbox. And that's for real. They don't know how to build a website. They need someone by the other side. So this is why I really think that I'm very digital. I'm an early adopter. I use social media all the time. If I want to talk to a brand, I will never call them. But there are a lot of people who prefer to call them. Maybe in a near future that will change, but I think people from my own age, more or less, from my generation, from time to time, they prefer to make a call, and they answer the phone. And this is why, as I told you, one of the ways that we are finding to increase the conversion rate is to call them. If they don't answer the phone, they won't answer the phone. But sometimes the person who is answering the phone, they are having problems. They're struggling to build their own website with a very super easy tool. So I really believe in telemarketing nowadays, and I think that it's going to be with us, the phone, for a lot of time. Not sure about that.
Amazing. Any other questions? And did I leave the mic there? I think I left the mic there, no? You see, I forgot about that. Happens. Sorry, Mr. Cameraman, I'm going to have to pass and get the mic there. All right, anybody, any other questions in the end here? So I don't have to run forward and backwards. No? Okay. Thank you so much. Give it up for Clara.
Thank you.
All right. That was amazing. Thank you again, Clara. And great questions as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for your questions.